Hi Nazym, well done for completing this piece of work. It's brilliant and it's making great steps towards improving your English, so you're doing a fantastic job. Well done. So let's have a look at your first piece of writing, which was the letter to the shop manager. Okay, and in this letter you had to describe the toy, describe the damages and provide a resolution. Okay, so first of all, having a look at this, you've got a good format. Generally, you've realised that this one is a letter, so you've started with a good greeting and you've ended with yours sincerely, which is perfect. Okay, and as well, you've also noted that you're writing to a shop manager rather than one of your friends, so your language is appropriate for that. So really well done on those two things. That's great. Let's have a read through then. So, dear Mr. Jones, I'm contacting you with regarding the toy I recently purchased from onlinetoysforkids.com. I bought a 3-coloured cat named Flopsybella from your shop on October 20th as a gift for my toddler, which was delivered to my house 3 days later. Okay, well done. Let's have a look at that first part. Great imagination, by the way, for the name of the toy and so on. It's good. So, I'm contacting you is a great way to start a formal letter or letter of complaint and so on. Is really good. This part here, we need to change slightly. So we either need to say, I'm contacting you regarding the toy I recently purchased from onlinetoysforkids.com, or I'm contacting you with regard, no ing, with regard to the toy I recently purchased from onlinetoysforkids.com. Okay, so one or the other there. I bought, good use of past tense irregular, good, you've got the right form there. I bought a 3-coloured cat named Flopsybella from your shop on October 20. Now, with dates in English, we need to write TH after 20, as in 20th. Okay, so 20 and then TH for if, 20th. As a gift for my toddler, which was delivered to my house 3 days later. Well done, good work. Although the cat is supposed to sing upon pressing its belly button, well done, good description, there is no sign that the toy pet can produce any sounds. Good, that's a really good sentence and nice structure, so using although followed by there is really good. Well done, and a good negative there, no sign that the toy can produce any sounds. Really well done. Initially, good, so after initially we need to have a comma. Initially, comma, I thought that the level of batteries inside it was low. Okay, so here we can say this in a more concise way. We can say initially, comma, I thought that the battery level was low. Okay, so just using slightly less words to get our point across. So I thought that the battery level was low, so I replaced them with brand new ones. Which did not make the cat to become a singer. Okay, I see your point here. When we say to become a singer, that would mean more as a vocation, so the cat to become a celebrity singer, which we don't want here. So which did not make the cat work, for example, so it did not make it function as it should, which did not make the cat work. Eventually, yes, now instead of I think, we want to say I realised in the past tense, realised. R-E-A-L-I-S-E-D, realise. So eventually I realised there might be a problem with the cable that connects the batteries and the singing device inside the toy. Okay. Now, this word cable is not quite the right word here. Cable is normally quite a large wire, like the telephone cable, for example, to your house, or the internet cable is normally quite a large wire. If we're talking about smaller wires connecting a battery or a device, we don't use the word cable, but we use the word wire. So there might be a problem with the wire, W-I-R-E, wire, that connects the batteries and the singing device inside the toy. Okay, well done. But that's a great description there. You've got some wonderful vocabulary. According to the online purchase agreement, well done, great use of phrase there. So according to the online purchase agreement, comma, I am eligible to receive a refund instead of any refunds, a refund, no S, in case of any defects. Well done, great vocabulary, particularly I am eligible to receive, and refund is good, and defects as well, great vocabulary. Therefore, I suggest you issue me a full refund so that I will be able to buy the cat from our local shopping mall. Okay, well done. Good. I look forward to hearing from you. Yep, well done. Yours sincerely, Nazym. Well done. Good work. So just a few changes there, but the general bones of the text are great. You've got some great vocabulary. You've got some great phrases. You've used some good tenses. So that is what we really want to see. As well as that, it's nice and formal. It's not a chatty letter to your friend, Mr. Jones, but rather to the shop manager, Mr. Jones. So it's really good that you've got the right form there. One thing to pick up on is definitely those definite articles. So when we had with the wire that connects the batteries in and the singing device inside the toy. So making sure you've got those definite articles in there. If that is an area that possibly you're struggling with, the best thing to do is to look up definite and indefinite articles. So the difference between using the or a, and also no articles, so when to not use an article at all, so that you can distinguish between the different ones. Okay, great work. Let's go on then to your longer piece of writing in the essay. So you did great work as well with your essay piece, so thank you for doing that. And your question was, many people think that home-cooked food is healthy, but many people still prefer eating out. Why is this so? Provide specific reasons and examples to support your opinion. Good, so we had a great question here. Let's look at your introduction then. Experts throughout the globe debate over whether homemade dishes is a healthy choice. Some of them believe that eating at home boosts people's health, while many of them refer to the fact that many people fancy the idea of eating in places other than home. This essay will discuss the reasoning behind the eating out by stating points and proving arguments from Boston University and the University of South Dakota. Well done. A good introduction there. You've got a nice descriptive part that is not too long to say what the debate is about, and then you've mentioned what your essay will discuss. So this is a good structure for an introduction. Let's see if there is anything we can change. So experts throughout the globe. Now this is a good phrase, however we don't want to use throughout, we want to use the phrase across. Experts across the globe, so everywhere in the globe, across the globe. Experts across the globe debate over whether homemade dishes are, plural here, dishes, are a healthy choice. Great, strong opening sentence, well done. Some of them believe that eating at home boosts people's health. Good. While many of them refer to the fact that many people fancy the idea of eating in places other than home. Okay, well done. That's a great use of fancy there. Fancy the idea. So you're trying to use different phrases to the normal, which is good. One thing I would say is that we've got a little bit of repetition of many. So we've got many of them refer to the fact that many people. So maybe we could change this with a synonym and possibly use something like, while many of them refer to the fact that a lot of people fancy the idea of eating in places other than home. So we could say here as well the idea of eating outside of the home or away from home. Okay. This essay will discuss the reasoning behind eating out, so we don't need the definite article there, behind eating out, by stating points and proving arguments from Boston University and the University of South Dakota. Good, well done. On the one hand, eating at home puts the so-called home chef in charge of the entire cooking process. Well done, good use. Particularly this so-called is good. You're showing that you're aware of different phrases that we can use for people who cook at home, a home chef. Good. Those who prefer homemade dishes try to use good products as well as follow guidelines in preparing meals compared with chefs who work at takeouts or cafes, thereby decreasing their chances of having any stomach-related sicknesses. Okay, well done. Now, you might have realised when I was reading that this sentence starts to get a little bit long. What I would suggest is that we actually divide this into two. So, those who prefer homemade dishes try to use good products or good ingredients or possibly healthy ingredients, as well as follow guidelines in preparing meals compared with chefs who work at takeouts or cafes, full stop, end of sentence. Then we could say this decreases their chances of having any stomach-related sicknesses from eating out, for example. For instance, good use of that. The recent study issued by Boston University indicated that 75% of people who prefer home-cooked dishes do not have any gastritis or ulcers, compared to 54% of people who fancy eating at cafes and other public places. Therefore, eating at home is a healthy choice. Okay, again, quite a long sentence here, so all the way from for instance down to places, so spanning over 3 lines there. Let's see if we can break that one. For instance, the recent study issued by Boston University indicated that 75% of people who prefer home-cooked dishes do not have any gastritis or ulcers, compared to 54% among those who eat out, we could say, to make it slightly shorter. Therefore, eating at home is a healthy choice. Okay, good. You've got a good structure here. You've got a nice use of evidence. Just watch the length of your sentences, because we've got good points. We don't want to lose the good points in long sentences. Okay, let's go on to the next paragraph. So, on the other hand, well done, good use of that. On the other hand, not only do many people enjoy the process of eating. So a good attempt at a good structure there, but we need the do in front of many people. Not only do many people enjoy the process of eating, but they also like to eat in places other than their homes. Okay, this is because many people enjoy eating in cafes and restaurants as they like to be surrounded by other individuals, which makes them feel happier. Good, really good point. So the social aspect of eating out. Even though some people might complain that they are forced to eat out as it is quite costly, inside their souls they quietly enjoy sitting around other people and having meals with them simultaneously. Okay, you've got a really good point here, and the way that you've described it is nice. However, inside their souls, we need to be careful with that because it's actually quite poetic here, and we want it to be a little more factual. So, we could say inside they quietly enjoy sitting around, or in reality they quietly enjoy sitting around other people, or being around other people and having meals with them simultaneously. According to the research published by the University of Dakota, people who frequently visit public places to eat are 64% happier, so no by, are 64% happier than those who prefer staying at home to have their course of meal. Instead of saying to have their course of meal here, we could make it simpler by saying prefer staying at home to eat. Okay, hence, good, eating out makes a person happier. Okay, alright then. Good. You've got some really good points there. You've got your point, your evidence, and a little bit of explanation, which is good. Here, with this last sentence, I would be tempted to make that a little bit more of a fact that is coming from the research. So instead of hence eating out makes a person happier, we might say hence it is clear that eating out makes a person happier. So you're linking that research to this fact. Okay. In conclusion, I would like to say that despite all the healthy reasons related to homemade dishes, many people just choose eating out as they strive for additional portion of happiness, the trend which will continue to enhance in the nearest future. Okay, so you're summarising well here, and a good use of in conclusion. Here, instead of I would like to say, more academic would be I would say that despite all the healthy reasons related to homemade dishes, many people choose to eat out as they strive for happiness instead of an additional portion of. So strive for happiness, or choose eating out as a way to be happier, perhaps. Then I would end that sentence, otherwise it starts to get a little long. We could say here, I believe this is a trend which will continue in the future. So no enhance or nearest, which will continue in the future. Okay. You might add in here just a brief point about what you've mentioned in your main part, because we're trying to summarise. So it could be, I believe this is a trend which will continue in the future because of the social aspect, even though eating out is not as healthy as eating in, for example. So just to summarise what you've said, because in our conclusion we want to give the last impression to the examiner. So we want to make sure that it is a conclusion that is memorable as well as accurate. Okay, but really great work. This is really good. You've, like I said, in both pieces, got some fantastic vocabulary, some wonderful phrases. I can see that you're trying to push yourself by using phrases like not only do, which is really good, is a nice natural phrase. Across the globe, on the one hand, on the other hand. So yeah, fantastic work. Keep going, it will be worth it, and a really enjoyable piece to read as well. So thank you very much.